Hi, good evening, everyone, and welcome to LWP podcast. So, tonight, joining me in the studio is the one and only Arcadius. Cannot wait for this one. Let's see what information we can get out of the man himself. Good evening, Arcadius. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you very much. How are you?
Yeah, not bad, thank you. Not bad at all. What's that you're wearing, love?
Oh, this is my LWP Heavyweight Championship.
Oh,
I won, I believe, in October.
I think it was October, yeah, against CW Davis in the
Yeah.
match to end all matches, dare I say.
It was quite a match, to be honest. It was a rather fulfilling, spiteful match, but it was fun.
Well, you call it fun. Like, I'm not going to lie. I think my heart stopped a few times during that match. I'm not going to lie. It was a little bit scary for the spectators.
Yeah. I think it was a little bit. I heard it was a little bit scary for some of the adults more than the kids, to be honest. I think
the kids was all over it. The adults were sat there going.
So I had to answer to the wife afterwards.
Oh yeah, well I know I was with your wife during the match, to be fair, and she did say she was going to give you a little bit of a telling off when you get out the ring.
I've still got the earache.
Still got it. Still ringing, is it?
Yeah.
So, since you've won that belt, then Arcadius, what have you done with it?
What have I done with it? If you can remember the interview you gave me after, I said about going shopping with it and taking it to school and taking it to bed with me. I've done every single one of them. I even went shopping with it. You know, I did get a few looks and stuff like that.
So, did anybody actually come up to you and ask you what it was while you was out shopping?
Yeah, a couple of people asked me, and some people just thought I was a big giant child. You know? But no, I said, this is the real thing. This is better than WWE. This, you know what I mean? So,
if the belt's in the bed with you, where does the poor wife sleep?
Oh, she sleeps between. Right in between, like I've drawn a line, so she's not allowed to pass it. I put it on the headboard above us, in praying that it doesn't fall on my head. So I put it in the middle, so if it does fall, it gets us both at the same time.
Oh, so at least it's shared then. At least it's not just going to knock one of you out. I'm so pleased you actually really did go shopping, because I did think that you was just like pulling my leg with that one. I'm not going to lie. I was like, of course you are.
I didn't waste any time either.
I've got photo footage, everybody, as well, so it did actually happen. So coming up then, so obviously I know that you do wrestle with other companies. LWP isn't the only company or promoter that you wrestle for. When is your next match? Because you've got one coming up soon, haven't you?
Yeah, I've got one coming up on the 1st of May, which is another championship match for the EWE Heavyweight Championship for Elite Wrestling Entertainment in London. And then I think the 13th of May is me coming to Annihilation to annihilate CW Davis.
No, that was the last one that you did. That was where you got your belt. You're taking on Brad O'Brien.
Yeah, that was it. Oh, sorry, brain's gone a bit funny.
Brad O'Brien's very confident, you know.
Yeah, I know. I've noticed. But as I said on my promo towards him, that as long as I can still lace my boots up and I've got air running through my lungs, he'll always be the underdog. So he can be as confident as he likes.
When I spoke to him before King of the Castle in December, he said then, he was like, I'm taking them all on and I'm walking out victorious. And I was like, okay. Sometimes like confidence is a good thing. Sometimes I think you can be overconfident. And I was honestly thinking, you're not going to do this because you're too overconfident. And obviously he did. He came out, and then as soon as he was out the ring, I spoke to him again, and he said then that he was wanting to come after your belt.
Yeah, to be honest, I think he kind of does deserve to be overconfident. He does deserve that confidence. He has been training since he was a young pup. You know,
He's very good, very good. I'll give him that.
I've shared the ring with him as well before, and yeah, he caught me a good one in there. But
Really?
you know, he still didn't come out victorious, though. You know what I mean?
Well, this is it. This is it. I mean, what are you going to give in this match?
In this match,
Annihilation? Yeah.
all I can say is poor Bradley. It's all I can say, you know, because he's going to get torn to pieces. I'm gonna break him, you know, and I'm going to show him that he needs to do more than run his mouth and you know and go around calling himself the king of couture, whatever he calls himself these days. You know, if you got to. Sometimes, you know, you got to put these kids in their places just to let them know where they actually stand. You know,
do you think that makes a difference, though? Do you think the age range can make a difference? Because we're not getting any younger, are we?
Yeah, rub that in.
No, we're not. I don't know how you do it, because I've done a training session and I was exhausted.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, the age difference does matter a bit, because obviously, you know, he's younger. He's going to be able to move a little bit quicker than me, because I'm a big guy. I'm not exactly I'm not exactly a you know, chiseled up muscle guy like a lot of the guys out there. You know, I mean, I'm a big bear. Everyone likes to call me, or the war beast, whatever it is. You know, I don't mind. People pick the names. I just go with it. You know,
you're just like, I'm here to do nothing. Let's get on.
Once I get my grips on them, that's it. They're in trouble. You know what I mean? It might take a while, but I'll get there. You know?
Just bear with. Hang on a minute. Hang on. I need to get up. See, that would be the other thing. I wouldn't be able to get up. Once I went down, that'd be it. I'd be stuck.
Yeah.
Has anybody got a hoist to get me up?
I know some guys have this habit of having me chase them around the ring sometimes, but as soon as they start doing that, I just stand there and wait for them to get back in again.
Yeah, like, they'll come back. They'll have to come back.
Yeah, I ain't running out there chasing after him. I'm too old.
You come to me, sunshine.
Yeah, come over here. It'll only hurt a little bit.
Oh, God. So the one that you've got, the match that you've got, the other championship that you've got on the 1st.
Yeah.
Are you prepared for that one? Because obviously that one's coming up pretty quick now, isn't it?
I've been prepared for this since the pandemic, since the beginning of the pandemic, like, you know. But obviously we can't really complain too much. The pandemic happened to everybody, messed everybody up a little bit. That's why I got bigger, to be honest. I wasn't.
Me too.
I wasn't as heavy as I was, but like from. I believe it from September. No, about November. Yeah, about November last year, I trained really hard all the way through to get to December, and then I ended up tearing my calf. So it slowed me down a little bit, but I still won the match. I mean, I won it. It was a rumble. I started at number 1, and I got through everyone and took the win home to become the number 1 contender for the heavyweight championship with my brother Bullet. And yeah, I turned out I tore my calf right at the very beginning of the match, and I carried on going, and obviously it really, yeah. So I was laid up about 2.5 weeks.
Because this really surprises me with you guys, because if you get injured, like, you do just carry on.
Yeah, to be honest, it's
horrendous.
Yeah, it depends on the injury. I mean, like, if you break your back, there's no way you can move. You know, if you break your neck, you've got to end the match. You know what I mean? But a tear, you pulled your muscle, or even broke a finger, the show must go on.
True, but
because at the end of the day, you got to put a show on, and that's our jobs. You know, obviously we're not the WWE, but you know, you look at Triple H. He tore both his quad muscles, or one of his quad muscles. I think it was both of them actually, and he tried to and he carried on to the end. You know, but he had to get carted out at the very end of that match. You know, and then came back with his legs wrapped up. You know, after having all these surgeries and stuff like that, and he kept going, and he done it again later on. You know, it's just, I think, yeah, it's just one of them things that yeah, the show must go on no matter what it is. You know, you could be in as much pain. I mean, sometimes I might get up and do a massive leg drop, and then I realise in midair on my way down, I'm going to regret this, and then my back stings for about a week after that. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So, you know, and then my back hurts through the match, and I've got to carry on till the end. You know, sometimes, but I've been
Do you have
working on
to
that.
stock up on painkillers and stuff before matches?
No. I don't really like taking painkillers, to be honest. I detest them because it can cause heart attacks and stuff like that. And obviously, I've seen a lot of people, and one of my heroes, he died of heart attack through taking painkillers, I believe it was. And yeah, so I thought that ain't going to be me.
No.
If I'm going to die, it's going to be on my terms. You know what I mean?
You'll wait for me. I think you'll find. Jake Pugh is in the chat, and he said, "Much love to the big man and LWP." So I just thought I'd tell you that, and Sabrice is in there as well. So hi, Sabrice.
Oh, hello, Sabrice. Hello, boss.
So yeah, so where did the love for wrestling come from then, and why on earth did you think, I know, I want to go get beaten up?
What?
You can do it from hugging to it for free.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
But yeah, no. I love wrestling from a very young age. You know, and obviously where I was living at the time, there was no like wrestling schools or anything like that around my area or where I lived. If there was anything, I don't know. In fact, I don't know if there was any training school around London or whatever at the time. But I just watched it all the way through. You know, I watched British Bulldog was my all-time favourite wrestler. You know, and yes, it was a spiteful thing when he died. It upset me. You know, I've been to his grave. You know, I went there. His Dynamite Kid's nephew's brother. Nephew's brother. Dynamite Kid's brother, Mark Billiton, took me to the grave. I never shared it on Facebook because to me it's a personal moment for me. But to stand there next to my hero, you know, it was bittersweet, but you know, it was a really nice thing that they done for me. You know what I mean? So yeah. But going back to how I got into it, I mean, I'd done martial arts and kickboxing from a very young age. You know, and then obviously as I was getting older, I was doing different things. I started playing rugby by the time I was like 23, so 22, 23 or something like that. And I played that right up to my 30s. And it was the last year of my rugby that I got player of the year, man of the match of the year, I think it was as well. And I thought I'd done what I needed to do now. You know what I mean? So I decided I'm going to slow it down a little bit. And then obviously I went to a sports convention, big sports convention where there was like the army, football, and my rugby club was there. And obviously I went down there to help to try and draw some young players. I brought my son with me. And literally next to us was Train to Wrestle. You know, which was run by Terry and Liam, Terry Thatcher and Liam Dunn, who are now Al Snow Wrestling Academy, Surrey, down London. I took my son over there because my son wanted to have a go at it. So I thought, yeah, go and go, you know what I mean? And then I asked Terry about the training, and, you know, I said, I'm not going to be doing, I'm too old. I'm like 32 at the time, I think it was. And he said, no, never too old to do it. So I thought, you know what, I'll do it, but I'm going to do it with my son just so, you know, he's got something to look forward to, and I'll do it with him and whatever. We went it was a nice session. It was okay. Except my son got up and left after 2 minutes because he didn't want to do the warm up. Here keeping you comfy, like, you know what I mean. Then the following week, I met Red Eagle from Portugal, and the training and stuff like that. I fell in love with it fully. I was just like hooked, you know. And then by the time I had my first seminar, I decided I'm going to retire rugby and then pursue wrestling. Little did I know I'll get to this point where I'm holding belts. You know, I mean, I didn't even expect it, to be honest. I mean, I just wanted to go out there and have fun and enjoy it, like, you know, and get as much experience as I possibly can. And you know, yes, at one point I wanted to get into WWE. I'm maybe too old now, but you know, you can never say never. You know, I mean, if there was one chance I could get in, even if it's for a year, I'm going to go for it.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, I've been on an episode of Raw, right? For
yeah.
Yeah, I was on. It was the time it was in Manchester, and mate, the production that goes on behind the scenes, man, it is wild.
I can imagine.
There's like wires and TVs everywhere, and you're like, man, what the hell's going on here? Like, you know what I mean? But yeah, I was in there when Braun Strowman was looking for Baron Corbin, and I got to meet some wrestlers, and now I met. I saw Bobby Lashley, I saw Nia Jax, Alexa Bliss, Ruby Riott, bloody hell, Mickey James, Alicia Fox, Jinder Mahal. And then obviously I bumped into Dean Ambrose. I was like, yes. And then obviously Chad Gable and all that. Some of them we spoke to as well, because Marty Jones, he took me there. To obviously, I was supposed to be there as a security, so but instead, what they decided to do is just put us in the background in comfy clothes, just to whatever. And then you see me look up to Braun Strowman and then take off. But when I looked at him, I thought, Jesus Christ, that's a long way up, isn't it? And I thought, I'm going. The first we practiced it at first, I was just like, yeah, and what? You know what I mean? And I thought, no, I'm not a character right now. I'm something else. It was like, damn. But when he looked at me at first, I was like, yeah, I better go. But yeah, he actually is a really, really nice guy. You know what I mean? He looks evil. He looks quite dangerous, but he's actually a really nice gentleman, actually.
But this is the thing, though, isn't it? And I think this is what people have to remember. Ultimately, it's like two personas. So am I okay to say your real name?
Yes.
So you're Lee.
Everybody knows my real name, so
well, I know, but you know, you have to ask. So you're Lee, but then you've got the other persona, which is Arcadius.
Yeah. See,
and I think people don't always think that, you know, sometimes there is a difference. So what you see in the ring isn't what you get in real life.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm as real as out of the ring than I am in the ring.
You are pretty much, to be fair.
The volume turned up and the treble messed about a little bit. You know, it depends on how I am, or you know, how nasty I'm allowed to be and how good I've got to be. You know what I mean? It depends. You know, but yeah, it's but yeah, I try to be as real out as I am in. You know, but at the same time, being humble. You know, because it's one of the most important things in this industry is being humble. Like, you know, you ain't got to be all cocky and clever, you know what I mean? And just because you're winning belts and stuff like that, it doesn't make you the top guy in the world and stuff like that, you know. It just makes you...
The problem with the belt...
Paying off, but it's nice to have. I mean, I love it. And I don't want to let it go.
The problem with the belts, though, is you have to then fight to keep hold of them, don't you?
Yeah, you have to fight to keep hold of them, you know, and the best thing about it is making it mean something as well. You know what I mean? So, you know, and that's why I carry this wherever I go.
Tracy, actually, you know the head ref, Tracy?
Yeah.
She has literally just put in there a very humble guy who always helps at every show.
Yeah, even when I'm not on it.
True story.
Yeah, when I'm not on it. I mean, I came down to visit the guys because obviously I had a bit of time on my hands and I just wanted to go down and see him. And if it meant for an hour, you know what I mean, go down there. But yeah, he ended up putting me on there to confront C.W. Davis at the time, where he left the belt in the ring. And, you know, I did enjoy it for a minute. While it was on my shoulder.
You were just becoming acquainted, ready for when you
Yeah,
had it,
I
right?
hello. I was just introducing myself to the belt. You know, you coming home with me the next time with me. You know what I mean? But, yeah, it was great. But you know, even I think so, it was a priest that turned around and said to me, he said, you know, why are you helping with the ring? I said, because I was, you know, you never. Thing is, what people forget in this business as well is that you never stop paying your dues. You know,
True.
so whether you come there as a fanship, you know, you don't have to, but for me, it's, you know, it's nice to just to get there and help the guys out because they've just put a show on for us as well. Like so, and as a wrestler, it's nice to give them a hand just to let them know that you appreciate what they've done. You know
Well,
what I
to
mean?
be fair, it's always appreciated. Any help is always appreciated. Of course it is, you know, because it's not. I was speaking to Sabrice last week, and it's not as straightforward as you wave a magic wand and everything's ready for the show. There's a lot of work that goes into these shows for people to come along and watch. And just as much effort goes into the clearing up at the end as it does at the very beginning. So, you know, when you have got people that come along and are like willing to chip in and give you a hand, then amazing.
Yeah, it is.
It's long, but you know this yourself because you run your own training academy as well, don't you?
Yeah. I've just made two of my students intermediate trainers actually. The pair of them have been with me, well, been training under me since January last year, and I got them on Marty Jones's show a couple of weeks back, and they did really well. They did me so proud, to be honest. Like, you know what I mean? And I thought, right, they're intermediate trainees now.
What is it like seeing? Because I was asking Sabrice this. Obviously, when people come and they have no experience with wrestling other than they've seen it on the TV and they want to take part, how rewarding is it seeing those progress?
Oh God, yeah. I mean, it's hard to explain, to be honest. But watching them in the ring, you know, I was so proud of them. They both pulled out a couple of moves that I showed them not long ago. You know what I mean? And when they did it, it was just I was stood there and I forgot that I was filming, and I put my phone down. I was like, goodness, like, you know. There, like, you know what I mean? I just switched my phone off now, and I was like, idiot. But yeah, it was because to be honest, it was just the start of a rumble, like. But watching them in there and the way they got the crowd going without even trying was amazing because that's something you know it can't be taught. I mean, I can tell them this is what I normally do. I go out there just be me, and well, I'll be Arcadius, and I can be a little bit louder if I want to, but I go out there, they get loud because they like the size of me, you know, because they know they're going to get intensity from me, you know. So I try not to like do too much pandering, you know. I kind of draw them in and then go with me. So when I start losing my stuff in the ring, then they will lose it with me. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like that, but without trying, like, you know. I've when I don't like breaking kayfabe too much, but when I first ever turned face, in the years I was wrestling, I tried to be face, and it didn't work. So I seeked a bit of advice, and I was like, what do I do? Because obviously I went out there, and I think I was trying too hard to be the good guy, and I was letting them get away with a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? And he said, well, why don't you just stay as you are, be the heel, but as a face. So
Makes sense.
I just thought, oh yeah, do you know what? Actually, I like that. So now everyone seems to think I'm an in-betweener. I'm not. I'm a face, you know, but I'm just a very violent face. You know what I mean?
Very violent face.
Well, that's the only way I can really put it, you know. And the crowd seem to love it. They seem to enjoy it. You know what I mean? So I just stick with it, and you know, eventually.
This is the thing. So when I was speaking to Sabrice, because I have noticed over the years that, you know, wrestling has become a little bit PG. and it has been toned down quite a lot. And then there's the odd match that comes along where it's a bit rougher, and it's like, oh, interesting. Do you think that over the years it has changed much?
Yeah, it's gone way too PG, man. I mean, I do get some of it as well. Like you don't want to overdo certain matches, especially like no disqualifications or last man standing matches and stuff like that. You just got to be careful what you're doing, because obviously you don't want to scare the kids. But problem is, because obviously over the years, because you had the Attitude Era,
Yeah.
the kids loved it then, absolutely loved it. But as the years have progressed, as you notice, as you said, it's gone more and more PG and more parent guidance and more
I like
family.
to call it snowflake.
Yeah, and that's what it has. And because they've snowflaked the hell out of it, now they're not used to it. If they just stayed with it as it was, maybe change it a little bit, maybe not overdo certain matches and go over violent with certain things. But but they've gone way too PG with it,
Is there a happy medium though? Is there such a thing as a happy medium?
Yeah.
Because you weren't a snowflake when you was taking on C.W. Davis for that belt, as me and your wife can contest to, because we was both hiding at one point.
Yeah. I can guarantee you C.W. Davis was no snowflake either. I'm telling you.
No, he definitely isn't a snowflake either. But like, how do you find the happy medium between keeping the snowflakes happy and giving the viewers what they want? Because, like I say, me and your wife, we was literally like, what's going on?
Well, it's a hard one, to be honest, for me, because I do like doing stuff. I mean, sometimes I see in I think it's Tracy's daughter, when she was in the stands doing the music. She's standing there and I had the guys in the air and I'm taking them down, and she's like, oh my God. I nearly laughed because I see it, because she's the only one I see go like that. Stop doing it.
Well, she's slightly raised, isn't she? Where obviously where the decks are and all their system is.
Yeah, I mean,
she's slightly raised. So I suppose when you're in the ring, you're pretty eye contact, aren't you? Really?
Yeah, but the happy medium side of things, I think they should be. I think people should just stop being snowflakes and just enjoy the show. You know what I mean? That's the best way I can really put it, to be honest. I mean, I'm not trying to be rude or anything. Just stop being snowflakes and let us do our job.
It's not being rude, is it? Because, like, nobody wants a bloodbath.
Nah.
But,
no.
I mean, you're not stupid. Like, you know when it's going too far. Not everybody is you, so I suppose not everybody is going to have that about them.
Yeah. Well,
but I don't know. I don't think I would like to be in the ring, if I'm honest.
Oh no, there's nothing wrong with being in the ring. It's fun.
You say that, but I just don't. I think I'll stick to like this.
Right? You're going to be someone, right, who you would never be on the outside of that ring. For me, like my character,
and
my character didn't even have a name at one point. Because I tried to portray the character for years. When I was a kid, when I used to play wrestling in my living room with my older brother and my younger brother, who
were you sofa cushions on the floor?
We may have broken a couple of sofas.
Did you used to put the sofa cushions onto the floor and use them as the ring?
Yeah, we used to do that, and usually we used to use the sofa as the area where we slam each other. And then my dad, he built a ring in our back garden. Not a ring, I built a gym in our back garden because obviously our kickboxing and stuff like that. Now it was a boxing ring, not a wrestling ring. All right. And we used to go out the back there and wrestle in the ring, mucking about, smash all the lights above our heads, and yeah, I think that's where we decided we didn't want to play bumps in that ring anymore because it hurt. we stuck with the sofa, but
Don't like
yeah.
that one. Stick to the front room.
But as I was saying, like when I first ever entered the ring, to even, I think it was a Rumble back in 2015. I think it was a Super Slam show, very first show I ever stepped in. I had really short hair then, and I wasn't as big, but I was still big, but not as big. I got in that ring, and I'm telling you, I was absolutely cacking myself. But once I got going, it was just like, mate, that was awesome. That was
Let me in again.
yeah. And then obviously, I started training under Al Snow for a bit, and then Marty Jones, and then started doing shows. And the more shows I was doing, the more confident I was getting. Well, I got a lot of my confidence was from camp shows. You know,
Oh, really?
I got to scream and shout and act like an absolute wally in front of everybody, right? And have people laughing at me, have people screaming at me. You know, they've got the up on me because I'm cheating. You know, it kind of built my confidence up to work in the crowd and stuff like that. And then going from a camp show to a hall show, you know, I realised now that you know, it's not always the same. You've got to change it up. So it's kind of like you've got to adapt as you go along to the crowd. Like sometimes you go into a show and the crowd are like just, you know, they're very hard to work, you know, and the promoter says, well, you've got to do your job a bit better. So it's not, I mean, what more can we do? You know what I mean? But again, when it comes to the character, you know, I get to be something I'm not, and I get to enjoy every minute of it. So nobody knows who I am really, other than Arcadius, you know. And then when they meet me out of the ring, they see me as someone completely different. You know what I mean? Even though, like I say, I am as real as as real as Arcadius as I am Lee. You know, except with Arcadius, the volume's turned up, like as I said. You know, but yeah, it's a character that people should just I mean, like if you're first starting out, just imagine you're someone completely different, and then just enjoy it, you know, and have fun with it, and play with it until you get where you want with the character. Like, you know, it took me a long time to get my character down to where I wanted it. You know what I mean? Like, because
Where did the name come from? Because you said that you didn't have a name for a long time.
No, well, it was. I used to run an MMA club at my rugby club with a friend of mine, and it used to be called Arcadian MMA.
Right.
So
Okay.
I decided I wanted to call it Arcadius. Hence, now I've got the Arcadian Pro Wrestling School, you know, because I kept that name, you know. So obviously I named it Arcadius because it was named after a war bear, basically, you know what I mean? Yeah, and yeah, so like I say, some people call me the Bear Machine, some people call me the Arcadian War Bear, some people call me the Arcadian War Beast or the War Beast. It depends on where you go. They if they pick the name for you, you just go with it, like, you know.
I just call you the Gentle Giant, to be honest.
yeah. Well, you don't want to have a match with me then.
No, not really. No, I think I'd be scared. I'm not going to lie. I think I'd get in the ring and I'd give it all the bravado for about 10 seconds, and then I'd run up to you, I'd give you a hug and run away.
Yeah, and I'll probably let you get away with it as well.
Well, yeah, because if you didn't, you'd have your wife to deal with.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't want that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so it's quite easy to say that I have two bosses.
Yeah.
I've got my wife and I've got Sir Bryce. You know what I mean? So if I mess up at LWP, I've got her to deal with. You know?
And Tracy in the ring.
Oh, and Tracy, yeah. Oh, God. Yeah, Tracy. Oh, she gave me a good telling off as well after me and C.W. Davis.
Did she?
Oh, yeah. She it's quite a scary telling off as well. So
You don't mess with with Tracy. Trust
You don't
me.
mess with the top women in the business, mate.
No, you really don't. You really don't. So you've got another championship match coming up on the 1st.
Yeah.
Then you're taking on Brad O'Brien to keep hold of your belt on the
13th.
13th. I keep
Yeah.
wanting to say the 15th, but it's not. It's the 13th.
Yeah.
So they're a bit close together, do you not think?
Oh yeah, they're a bit close together because you got to bear in mind. Actually, for some reason, May is the busiest time of the month for me because not only have I got my brother, I've got Bradley, and then I've got someone else at the end of the month as well.
Is that for another championship?
No, it's same company, EWE.
Right, okay.
So yeah, so I'll be defending my championship. I believe I'll be, or I think I am. I'm not quite sure how that's going at the moment.
So championship, and then defend.
Yeah.
I don't want to be you in May.
Yeah, so yeah, it's going to be a hard one.
So what should Brad expect then coming into this? Because I'm guessing because you're on, he's going to watch this just to see if he can get any little.
Yeah, I know. I tend to be careful what I say, because I know exactly, how we work in this business. We'll be watching each other and keep an eye on each other, see what secrets that comes out, see how we're going to work this guy, see what we can use against him. You know what I mean? I don't allow nobody to play games with me like that anyway. But all Brady needs to do is bring his A game, and he needs to be real prepared to go through a lot of pain. Because when I get my hands on him, it's obviously going to hurt.
He's a twig.
You'll break him like a twig, as a wife would say. You can get me in trouble.
What did you say?
She said she looks like a twig. Yeah. I said it about C.W. Davis. He was a toothpick with a big mouth, and I think that's why I suffered. But I think with Bradley, he's more of a toothpick with big eyes. So
Is after your belt, though. Is after your belt, Arcadius.
He's got to be hungry, and if you ain't hungry.
The last time I spoke to him, he wanted it. He really, really wants it.
Yeah. Well, all I can say is good luck to him, and be prepared to be crawling out and walking out, because you ain't getting this easy, I tell you.
So, is this going to be a match to watch from behind my hands?
Oh, it's going to be. It's going to be.
There was no hesitation there at all, Arcadius.
Yeah, I've got this feeling that it's going to be because Brad is, since I last wrestled Brad, he's actually sized up pretty well, to be honest. And I've been seeing a lot of his stuff, from other places as well. He's looking really, really good. All jokes aside, but again, he ain't wrestled me yet.
No.
Well, since the last time we wrestled, and he lost the last time we wrestled. So, let's see how this one goes, because I've got this feeling he's going to lose again.
Wow. So, you're keeping hold of that belt, you've told me, so you're not giving it up without a fight.
No.
I mean, it's been shopping with you, it's been everywhere, it's been in bed. Like, you're not going to just want to give it away, are you?
Yeah, I'll take it down to the school as well, just so the lads know this is something they can work towards in years to come and stuff like that,
So all the other dads in the playground walk away when they see you coming?
Not really. I think it's more the mums sort of hide and run away because I see this big ugly thing coming down. I think, what the hell is that? And I'll get closer. I thought, no, let's get out of here. Let's go. Get the kids. He looks hungry. I mean, the dads just go along with the ride.
That's like, all right. How's it going?
Yeah.
Honestly.
I mean, I do get a lot of weird looks, obviously, from youngsters and all that when I'm at the school, especially when I go down there wearing a vest and my scar's showing. They're like, "Oh, you see, that," and then obviously they're like, "What are you doing? You're going to get me killed!" So it's all right, mate. they can ask if they want to ask, and I'll tell them and stuff like
It's
that.
better for people to ask, isn't it?
Yeah.
Than,
Oh, it is. I mean,
skip
like,
on
I've been to so many places throughout the years as well, like where people said, "Is there a chance you can put that away because you're putting people off?"
what?
So, yeah. Like, and I'm wearing is a sleeveless t-shirt, and I'm in a pub or something like that, or I'm out somewhere else. Oh, can you put that away because you're putting people off? I said, oh, okay, no problem. So what I do is I go out, change my top into a vest so they can see the whole of the scar. And I come back in and I sit there and they're like, they won't come near me after that and talk to me. So
That's just rude.
yeah, it is. I mean, it's them low-minded people out there, who still have got something to say about anything and everybody and how people should look, how people shouldn't look. How did that happen and why are you showing it around to everybody? At the end of the day, it's none of their business. And you kind of get used to it. You know what I mean? To be honest, I grew up, not being wary of my arm anyway. That's thanks to my mum and dad really, because they made sure that I never worried about it or worried about what other people thought. My daughter, she's got a heart condition and she's got a scar on her chest. And a lot of kids ask her at school after PE why you've got that, and she explains it to them, but she's not wary of it. Sometimes she gets a little bit thingy about it, but then other times she's like, no, I'm not bothered, to be honest. You know what I mean? But it's a scar that she's gonna have there for the rest of her life. And I said to her, listen, you look at me, look at my scar. I've had that since I was 3 years old. So, this.
I think your war wounds you should wear with pride, and I don't think they should be covered up to make other people happy. If you don't want to see it, don't look. Simple.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is, when we had the photo shoot, and I did that with Aaron, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to show the scar off. I haven't done it in any of my other promo photos. I'm going to do this one. No, it wasn't like I didn't want to. It was, how come I haven't done it yet? And then I saw the opportunity and went for it. And then obviously Aaron picked out the picture he liked of it all, and it had me showing the scar and all that. And to be honest, it's one of the best pictures that I've actually seen myself in, to be honest. All the other photos I don't really like. I look like an idiot, but yeah, I don't really like having photos taken, to be honest. You'll find, like, even on my personal account, like, that you won't find many photos of me and my kids and stuff like that, because I don't really like doing photos. You'd be more on my wife's social media, not mine.
Yeah, true story that. So
I do try to do the odd romantic thing with it, but it just sounds like a plonker. So I try not to do it.
You just truly are a lovely man, to be fair. So out of all the other wrestlers then for LWP, if you manage to keep hold of your belt, sorry, not your next one, you're going to get your next one because you're going to have a whole herd of belts, aren't you? But once you've taken on Brad and you keep hold of your belt, who do you think is going to come after it next?
Cool. I don't know, but I'll tell you, I hope that does want to come after it at some point, and I do get a match with is Sykes.
Steve
Sykes, yeah, because he had a few things to say, at the press when him and Aaron were going at it. Mate, I ain't gonna lie. Watching them two in the ring, it was one of the best matches I have seen in my entire life. I'm not even blowing smoke up their asses either. I'm being straight up now. It was one of the best sort of old school wrestling that I've seen, and it was beautiful. It was art. And obviously it got extremely violent at the very sort of near the end. You know what I mean? But it was just absolutely beautiful. To see. But yeah, Steve
from with that, to be fair, because I wanted to cry during that one.
Yeah, no, it was quite, because I got emotional. Even at the press, I got emotional. I don't know why. I just got emotional and I just blurted out, you know, and I just started saying, so, you'd never ever catch me doing that anywhere. You know what I mean? But like I said, LWP is something, it just does something for me. You know, it feels like I get to say something and I don't get questioned about it or moaned about it, you know, and, you know, you can have your say without someone questioning you, you know what I mean? So it's very nice to have, and that's why I enjoy being at LWP.
It is a family. It really is.
Oh God, yeah, it is. And I know certain people out there don't like that using that term family because they seem to think that people are taking advantage of it. Some people may, you know, I'm not going to take that away from them, but you know, not LWP. They don't take advantage of nobody, mate. They once you've been invited in their circle, that's it. You're with them for life, like, you know. For what I've seen anyway, but you don't want to piss them off either because, you know, but it's not that you don't want to piss them off. It's, you know, there's only so much you can give. And if you're going to complain about it, well, there's a door.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but other than that, I mean, I've seen some guys that they've been training and stuff like that and they've done really well. But like going back to
so Steve Sykes is the one you want to come after your belt.
Yeah, yeah. Even if I didn't have the belt, I still want to wrestle him.
Really?
Yeah, I just want to. It's not another notch on the belt. It's just I want to see what he's really all about, because obviously, you know, the match he had with Aaron was beautiful. With me, if he's going to get in with me, it's going to be brutal, because obviously he's now got to fight something bigger, you know, and heavier. You know what I mean? So he's now, what's he going to do, and what's he going to pull out the bag for me?
He always seems to pull something out the bag, does Sykes. He really does. Like, I mean, when you think about the matches that he's had recently, so the one with Aaron was massive. What was that, a 20-year feud in the making?
Oh, God, yeah.
Then he's had Bret Hero, which is his son.
Yeah, to fight your own son. Bloody hell. I mean, Bret must have really pushed him to get that match, I'm telling you. You know, I mean, I never saw it, to be honest. I mean, I wish I was there to see it.
That was another one where I was blubbering because I just didn't know who to cheer for. Do you know what I mean? It was like, father or son, like, how do you decide? How do you decide which one to back?
God, yeah.
But he pulls it out. He pulls it out the bag, does Sykes, every time. And he 100% gives his all in there. I know you all do, but I don't know. I don't know how that one would go, to be honest. I think I'd be nervous with that one.
Yeah, I think I would be an all as well if it ever did happen. But yeah,
well, you've put it out there now.
Yeah, well, yeah, and obviously if it doesn't happen, it don't happen. But I would like it to happen.
Wow.
You know, I might do a bit of creeping and begging.
You've already put it out there. You've already put it out there. Yeah. You would want Sykes to come after your belt, which you're going to keep.
Yeah. Oh, God, yeah. And I'll even keep it when I'm wrestling him as well.
Just going to wear it the whole time?
Yeah, I'm going to wear it around my waist. So every time I hit him, you can see the shine off my belt.
Here's what you're not going to have.
Yeah. This is mine, mate. This is going nowhere, you know.
So if you could say anything, because we're coming up to an hour now. It goes so quickly. It's unreal. Yeah. So we're coming up to an hour. So I'm pretty sure Brad is going to be watching this. So what do you want to say to him?
Yeah, well, Brad, if you are watching this, I'm looking forward to the 13th of May. I'm looking forward to punching you in the face. And yeah, just looking forward to showing you up, mate. You know what I mean? This old dog was going to teach little dog, little Bradley dog, some new tricks. You know, that's really it.
Oh, so Annihilation, 13th of May.
Yeah, I like that name as well, Annihilation. I do like.
Do you know what? I've really struggled with saying it. I don't know why, but I have to really think about it before I say it.
I absolutely love that. I love the name, because when I'm in there with Bradley, he's going to get annihilated.
Perfect name for a perfect match.
Exactly. Exactly.
Oh, Arcadius, thank you so much for joining me tonight. It's been an absolute pleasure to chat to you, and I can't wait to see you on the 13th.
Oh, I can't wait to get down there. I love going to Skegness and and spending time with the guys, and obviously Aaron and Sir Bryce. They're fun to be around as well, and they're very nice, very kind, and very helpful. I've to be honest, I mean, with that, Aaron, he's given me a lot of advice. When it comes to gym work, diets, and stuff like that. And it's worked for me, to be honest, and I'm getting better with it. Just obviously I've got a bit of a cough at the moment, but I've just come off a big illness as well, so I'm hoping it'll go soon. And but I'm still training, I'm still getting there.
Still battling.
Oh yeah. Especially when I go to the gym with this as well.
Really does go everywhere with you, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to try and take a photo of the next time I'm at the gym, and I'm going to make sure this is with me, and I'm going to take a photo of it whilst I'm in the. Well, I'll have someone filming me while I've got the belt on.
Oh, Arcadius, thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure. I cannot wait to see you guys. So we will be back next week. If you want to know who it will be with, you'll have to wait and see, because we've got a surprise in the bag. So yeah, thank you so much, everybody, and we will see you next week.